Yes, for me personally, it's my first ITB. Puerto Rico, we has participated, many times before.
Okay, so how has it been for you? How's the experience?
Well, in my case personally, the experience has been productive. We did quite good due diligence before arriving, so I was already had a full agenda schedule of appointments. So,
So you've had some good meetings, have you?
yes, certainly. Actually, meetings and up to the point of even signing some agreements here on the spot in the show.
But tell us a little bit about some of these agreements that you've signed.
Well, I won't go much into details about the agreements, for obvious reasons. But one of them, for example, will be doing some tests with Amadeus, and that we agreed here on the show, and that will be for promoting our new flight that starts out of Madrid with Air Europa in May this year. So since Spain is a big base for Amadeus, so we're going to launch a project with them. We're also doing some new initiatives with Travel Zoo, and those we finalize some details here on the show for the summer campaigns with them as well. China, we also agreed and made some agreements as to some new agreements in place for some China Business Network promotions that we're going to put in place as well. So those are examples of some new agreements. But one of the main objectives why we participate in this show is because we have a direct flight with Condor out of Frankfurt into Puerto Rico. So we have that non-stop flight. So certainly Germany is an important market for us. And that's why we are in this show. And we bring hoteliers, tour operators, and receptive operators with us here to join us at the show.
I can't help but noticing that this year Puerto Rico is with the United States of America as opposed to the Caribbean village. Why is that?
Well, that's a very good observation. I guess the main reason for that, being a U.S. territory, I have to say that we are doing some special agreements that we haven't done before with Brand USA. And it's obvious reasons. It's return on investment. It's nowadays we have to maximize our investments. Globally, we all know that every country is trying to do more with what you have. So having said that, Brand USA has a program that pretty much I get like triple the value of my investment with the federal funded programs through Brand USA in my marketing efforts internationally. So that is the main reason why then we're trying to do a little bit more things with Brand USA in key international markets.
Doesn't mean you are not Caribbean, does it?
Absolutely not. Caribbean first, and we are Caribbean 1, Caribbean 2, and Caribbean 3. We're a Caribbean island.
Tell us a little bit about how Puerto Rico tourism has been performing.
Puerto Rico tourism and Puerto Rico as a whole, the industry, we've been performing well under the circumstances and the challenges that we have all been facing in the last several years. I believe we've been performing pretty well. We're very happy with our latest campaign, which is a very aggressive campaign and is entirely based on testimonials. I don't know if you've seen our new campaign, but our new campaign is entirely based on TripAdvisors and visitors' testimonials. So I think that campaign, which we look forward to for it to have continuity for several years. I believe the private sector is very happy as well and satisfied with the results and the image of that campaign. And we're looking forward to seeing the word of mouth and the testimonies of our visitors be the ones to talk about the experiences of Puerto Rico instead of me, the sales director globally, or Puerto Rico saying how good Puerto Rico is. So we believe we're looking forward for that campaign to be successful.
And what are some of the plans that you have for Puerto Rico tourism going forward?
Well, certainly, our top priorities are to continue to expand and bring new airlines into Puerto Rico. Being a Caribbean island, we depend on air and ocean. So between the airlines and cruise ships, that's pretty much one of our top priorities. So in addition, so an example of that is that we recently started direct flight out of Colombia, and that started this summer. So Colombia is a good example, or kind of like a best practice lately of what we have done penetrating a new market. We've started aggressively with press and fans, with circuits all over the top cities of Colombia, agreements in place with the wholesalers and the top partners in Colombia, and followed by Anato and the shows and things like that, given consistently with a good media campaign and so forth and so on. Here in Germany, yesterday we had a press conference at the Adlon here in Berlin, and we were announcing our new marketing campaign here in Germany. So that marketing campaign starts now in March, and it includes print, outdoors, television, and a little bit of different types of media, including social, e-commerce, and things like that. So then, those are the type of things we're doing, protecting the base, which is the east coast of the U.S., continuing with that base and protecting it and going after new markets. That's our priorities.
The Caribbean itself at one time was a critical market for Puerto Rico with your shopping and everything else. With the demise of American Eagle and the cut in traffic between the rest of the Caribbean and Puerto Rico, what are you doing to attract that Caribbean market back to Puerto Rico?
Well, if you can research the news in Puerto Rico about the expansion of new flights for the Caribbean, we have aggressively been expanding flights again, trying to recover and resume because we understand it's an important market for medical purposes, for shopping, for business, more than anything commerce, more than tourism, because of course, we are pretty much the same. So in that sense, Seabourn and other airlines are expanding again many routes that were dropped by American Airlines. So for us, it's important, and it's also within our priorities. So you will continue to see more new flights expanding. We just started a new flight with Turks and Caicos, and Seabourn is now expanding again a lot of those routes that were lost with American Airlines. So those are great news for our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean that we look forward to having you all back again in Puerto Rico doing your shopping, medical appointments, and commerce with Puerto Rico pretty soon.